You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Omondi Otieno.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on KUTV Primetime News. Remember, you can share thoughts with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. Now, the clock is ticking and will not stop any soon. The 5 years have now reduced to just 11 months to the next general elections. Kenya will be holding the general elections on the 9th of August, the year 2022. Now, presidential candidates are forming coalitions and ganging up support from various regions to compete favorably in the State House race. Tonight, we are joined by Shadrach T.J. Omondi, an advocate of the High Court, political commentator, and public intercultural, to help us break down the standings of the 2022 elections. Wakili, thank you for advocating your time to be with us tonight.
Asante sana.
All right, you might introduce yourself to the viewers. They get to know who Omondi TJ is.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Shadrach TJ Omondi Makakenyi. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and I'm happy to be with you here tonight.
Now, TJ, right into our discussion of the night.
Yes.
Church and politics have always coexisted, and we have seen the church now kicking out politics. In the Daily Nation paper's headlines today, we saw that 2022 politics split top church leaders as a section was opposed to that decision. What exactly is the role of the church when it comes to the national politics?
First of all, our constitution declares at Article 8 that there is no state religion.
Right.
So therefore it means that Kenya is a secular state. However, as you've rightly put it, church and politics have always coexisted.
Sure.
We can go down into history and remember people like Reverend Njoya, people like Muge, people like Reverend Zacchaeus Okoth. Those are clerics who've had their voices be heard on political scene. So what is now different that we see that some churches are banning politicians? If I go back to my Bible, the Gospels, the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there's a story about Jesus coming to Jerusalem, then into the temple, and then chasing away traders.
Right.
So the question is, are politicians traders that they should be chased away from the church? Right. Now, if you go back to that history, you will remember that slightly a week after that incident, Jesus was crucified. So is the church ready to be abolished also by politicians? Then the other question that we should ask ourselves is this. Most churches are built through arambes conducted by politicians.
True.
So can you tell me that a church that I've helped build, I cannot now come and greet wananchi? The other question that then we should ask is this. Are clerics so far remotely removed from politics? Because I've seen churches where they have do-or-die elections to elect their popes, to elect their bishops, to elect their presiding pastors. So what is this then that they're saying that is so bad about Kenyan politician that a politician cannot stand and speak in church? I think time will tell.
Right. Now, Wakili, away from the church, now to the face of politics itself.
Yes.
Jimmy Wanjigi, the Mogul businessman, ended his 4-day tour of the Nyanza region yesterday.
Yes.
And we saw the ugly incident that happened in Migori County.
Yes.
Are we going back to, the old and the dark days of political intolerance
Yes.
from that incident that we saw in Migori?
I think that one can be held to be a very remote incident. Remember, Jimmy has had very successful clean rallies in Kisumu County, in Siaya County, in Homa Bay County. So that one should be taken as a very isolated case. However, we condemn that incident. We should never have such kind of intolerance, because we would wish that a candidate should run throughout the country to sell their manifestos. And if you are opposed to a given candidate's manifesto, then stay at home. Yes.
Because as a citizen, you have that, freedom of expression.
You have freedom of expression. You have freedom of movement. You have freedom to join a political party. Yes.
Now, still on politics, we've seen Gideon Moi.
Yes.
He affirmed recently over the weekend that OKA will form the next government We have seen Mudavadi moving around. He was in Mount Kenya in search for deputy who will be his deputy.
Yes.
And we've also seen Musalia, Kalonzo Musyoka, who is also a co-principal of OKA.
Yes.
Now, with all that is going on, they have not officially talked.
Yes.
But do they stand a chance when it comes to the top seat in 2022 elections?
Straightforward answer.
Right.
OKA stands 0 chances. First, the following are the reasons. Recently, His Excellency, the Deputy President, William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto,
Right.
was in Bungoma. And who welcomed him to Chwele Market? The MP. Is called Honorable Kalasinga Majimbo.
Right.
And Kalasinga Majimbo was recently elected in Ford Kenya. The party leader of Ford Kenya is Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula. And what Kalasinga was telling the people of Chwele is that he is opening the way for his boss to join the DP. Now, if you look at Mudavadi is saying that he's campaigning in central Kenya to get a running mate.
Right.
So where is Gideon? Is Gideon coming from central Kenya? Is Kalonzo coming from central Kenya? So what really are we talking about in OKA? OKA is a non-starter.
Wakili,
Yes.
why would you say that? Anyway, the Orange House. Let's
Yes.
talk about the ODM.
Yes.
Raila Odinga, who is
Yes.
the ODM leader,
Yeah.
he has not officially declared that he will be running for
Yes.
the top seat.
Yes.
And perhaps this could be the reason why we've seen Jimmy Wanjigi, who is a member of ODM. We have seen Governor Hassan Joho,
Yes.
and we've also had Wycliffe Oparanya.
Yes.
They express interest for the top seat.
Yes.
Now, are we seeing the ODM as a party?
Yes.
What are the chances of them?
Now, first of all, before I come into that, let me go back to OKA.
Right.
You see, politics in Kenya can be read from history.
Sure.
We don't expect to elect an angel. We can only elect a president from amongst the politicians that we see. So if going by history is any chance, then those that we have mentioned in OKA stands no chance. The race is only between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. Now let me come to Orange House. First of all, Oparanya has declared his support for Raila Odinga.
Right.
Same to Joho. So we are only having maybe Raila Odinga and Jimmy Wanjigi. But you see, the writing is on the wall. Jimmy Wanjigi cannot beat Raila in any nomination for ODM. So it's automatic. It's almost cast on stone because Raila has been saying nitatangaza. So it's just a matter of time.
Right.
Before Raila announces his bid for presidency.
Now, you stated, Wakili, that the race to the State House
Yes.
will be a two-horse race between ODM leader Raila Odinga
Yes.
and, William Samoei Ruto, the deputy president.
Yes.
Will you ever come to a time when elections
Yes.
for the top seat
Yes.
don't boil down to a two-horse race where we can find a new entrant, a new face,
Yes.
starting this race and running it till the end until maybe probably we get a win?
Like I've told you, we don't expect to have angels to come and run this race. So for one to be a serious political contender, the first and the clearest indicator is, for example, the number of MPs that you have in parliament. Looking at the number of MPs that each of those candidates has in parliament, we only get 2 candidates because His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta is not running for president. So therefore, we only have his deputy, William Ruto, and that from ODM, Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, for you to win presidency, what do you need?
Right.
For you to win presidency, you need half the total number of votes cast in an election. That is what we call 50 plus 1%. After getting that half the total number of votes cast, then you should also win half the number of counties in Kenya. You must get 24 counties. Can Musalia Mudavadi get 24 counties in Kenya? Remember, historically, in 2013, Raila beat him, even in Vihiga, his home county.
Right.
It doesn't even have a governor. So how can he run a serious presidential campaign?
Now, let's touch something on the DP Ruto's camp,
Yes.
UDA. We have seen the TSP Secretary General Karungo wa Tangwa formally joining UDA, and others are still yet to come. The hustle narrative that, it resonates with most Kenyans.
Yes.
He has been popularizing it in most part of the country, and he's campaigned it, in the Mount Kenya, the vote-rich region.
Yes.
Now, what do you see about them? Do they stand a chance in the 2022?
Just like I said, this race is between William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga. It's just one of them to make a slight political mistake, and the other one goes with it. So, for instance, if you come to UDA has been endearing itself majorly to people in central Kenya. Now, mathematically, that Mount Kenya region has 10 counties.
Right.
And William Ruto, his supporters claim that they have the entire Rift Valley. Now, the entire Rift Valley is approximately 13 counties. 13 plus 10, that's around 23. That one cannot win a presidential election. He needs other counties as well.
But he has been to the other counties as well. It's not in the Rift Valley and, Mount Kenya region. We've seen him in Nyanza, we've seen him in Western, we've seen him to the coast.
Personally, I've not seen him in Nyanza, but I've seen him in coast. So if he's going to the coast, Raila was also in coast.
Right.
Probably they will talk about a split. Yeah. So this race is between His Excellency, the Deputy President William Ruto, and Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, coming to William Ruto, the only big challenge that he has is on selection of a deputy president. Because, for instance, if he were to go with that kind of voting arrangement that he goes back to central Kenya to pick a deputy, then people will say, does it mean that this presidency is about a rotation between Kikuyu and Kalenjin, year in, year out? And the other issue is, what if he goes to Western and picks probably Mudavadi or Wetangula, for that matter, to be his running mate? What will the Mount Kenya vote say? That is where he will lose it.
Now, I think picking a running mate, that is the challenge. Yes. That's the biggest tragedy we are seeing in this political scene. Yes. Because ODM leader Raila Odinga is not declared who is going to be his running mate. In the One Kenya Alliance, we've also seen the Musalia, the co-principles of the One Kenya Alliance. There's no one who has, lowered his guards to accept to be a running mate of the other. Yes. And in the UDA as well, you're seeing Deputy President William Ruto has not declared who's going to be his running mate.
Yes.
So you said the mistake, someone will, these coalitions, they'll work on the weakness, a slight mistake that the other makes.
Yes.
Could this mistake come to picking the deputy, the running mate of, of these coalitions in this race?
Yes. Now, like for instance, when you talk about Raila Amolo Odinga, his automatic choice for deputy has always been Kalonzo Musyoka since the last two races, 2013 and in 2017. What next will he do now in 2022? And that is that's why he was bringing the BBI. So that because you see, BBI was creating a lot of posts where you probably give somebody, you take prime minister, you take the first deputy, the second deputy, and then the other person can also be given something like the Speaker of the National Assembly. Now, that is the greatest headache for all these candidates, the picking of a running mate.
Wakili,
yes.
We have seen Deputy President William Ruto on the papers over the weekend. He reminded Kenyans how he helped Raila in 2007, how he helped Uhuru Kenyatta win votes in 2013 and 2017.
Yes.
Now, does the president owe him support to run to this, State House race?
There are two answers to that question. The first answer is right from a loss of power. A kingmaker, once the king is made, is always destroyed and killed. That is the tragedy William Samoei Ruto finds himself. He is a kingmaker. Once the king was made, the king had to crush him. And that's why you see Uhuru seemed not to be explaining the real reason as to why they broke up.
So from your sentiments,
yes.
Could it be, it's now automatic that Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, knows definitely that there's no chance for him supporting his deputy?
The writing is on the wall. You've seen the public exchanges.
Right.
Yes. And I want to take you back to history. All the vice presidents of Kenya, all those that have harbored ambitions to be president, have not made it in the first instance. In fact, the clearest chance that the first one ever had to being president was in 1992. That was Oginga Odinga. Yes. And he died 2 years later. Yes. The other one was now Moi Kibaki. But he didn't succeed Moi directly. Yes. Now, if you talk about that history, it's only Daniel Moi who succeeded the president, but the president died. It was not through elections.
Right.
Yes. So it is not guaranteed for William Ruto to succeed the president. And because you've seen all the public outbursts that I've had, it has with Mount Kenya, the Kieleweke wing saying it does not respect the president. All the president is saying is running for the baton from behind. So the president is wondering whom should he give the baton when the person that is supposed to give is running from his behind. Yeah. So the president has said clearly, and it is clear on the wall for all and sundry to see, that he does not support the deputy president.
Now, Wakili, based on what you're saying on your sentiments,
yes,
we've seen when the One Kenya Alliance was being formed, we saw the co-principals who are actually from NASA.
Yeah.
They were saying they are giving a chance to Raila Odinga,
yes,
but now to support them this round because they have always supported him
yes,
in all the 4 attempts of him trying to be the president of the country.
Yes.
Now, is it the same situation that we are seeing with the Uhuru and his deputy? It means definitely at no point Raila Odinga would support his co-principals.
That one we are preempting. That one we are preempting. You see, Raila Odinga first of all has not been made a king. So probably after having been made a king, then you'll see. But right now, he's not been made a king. Yeah.
Now, Wakili, the presidential candidates have been selling hope to Kenyans,
Yes.
Pointing the flaws in the current government and promising better life. Most of them have had a hand in the previous governments.
Yes.
We have seen Musalia Mudavadi has always been in government.
Yes.
We have seen Kalonzo, he's even been vice president.
Yes.
Now, are these leaders who are coming to ask for vote, to ask for support from the citizens?
Yes.
Because they've always been in the government and now they're criticizing the current government,
Yes.
promising to give life and better life to Kenyans.
Yes.
Are they being sincere with the Kenyans?
First of all, the last time I was here, I told you that in Kenya, we don't have a genuine politician. In Kenya, we have competing interests. And that's why you see friends turn foes. Today, they're friends, tomorrow, they're foes. But then there's no permanent enmity in politics, and there's no permanent friendship. So all these politicians, all of them are running for their own individual interests. There's nobody who is running for the interest of Kenyans. So no Kenyan should be deluded to think that there's any politician who will come and change his life.
But will you ever come to a point when we will have leaders who have the interest of others, the interest of the nation, the interest of the citizens at heart? Will you ever come to that point, Wakili, in the national politics, in the Kenyan politics?
That is far too long. We might not get there.
We might not get there.
Yes.
Why would you say that? You are killing the hopes of Kenyans, Wakili.
The truth is,
Yes.
is it like the last time I told you that there are some politicians that have been in the scene since 1992. They have taken probably a decade in that race. They are now today nurturing another generation of politicians who will take us for another decade. Why do you think they will be different?
Wakili, you've been a leader.
Yes.
We know your history.
Yes.
You've been a leader right from high school.
Yes.
I guess primary school, you're also a leader.
Yes.
And we know what you did when
Yes.
you were in Moi University and in the law school.
Yes.
Does it mean you also had your personal interests at heart than the interests of the people you are leading?
I might have had my personal interest, but then the public interest outweighed my personal interests. But the question is, do I stand a chance in Kenyan politics?
Right.
I don't.
You don't stand a chance.
Yes.
But Wakili, you are growing to be a leader. You've always been a leader. Why would you want to terminate this? The Kenyans are expecting at least people, the young minds, to stand up for them, to defend them, to have them at heart in the national politics, Wakili.
For instance, let me give you a straight answer.
Right.
If you look at Parliament, how many MPs do we have? 200, over 290.
Sure.
If you add the nominated.
The nominated.
Yes. Now, imagine if one of them had a vision to change. You've seen the way parliamentarians vote in that parliament. They only vote after they have been bribed. So even if you had that revolutionary idea that would have changed the life of Kenyans, nobody will take it. For instance, now today they are crying that fuel prices have gone up.
Right.
Yet they were the same MPs that passed the finance bill in 2019. Yeah, including some that were bribed to pass it, including those in handshake that had joined the government. They all passed the finance bill in 2019. So why do they run now to Kenyans claiming that fuel prices have increased and therefore the cost of life is high? Yeah, so we don't have genuine politicians. And even if you were to be that individual angel that wanted to bring that change, it might not be immediate.
Wakili, as we wind up, This discussion is really getting interesting, and
Yes.
I'd wish to have you here again and again. We discuss the national politics.
Yes.
You're breaking it down in an interesting way.
Yes.
What could be your final words to the Kenyans as we are heading to the general elections in about 2 minutes?
First of all, Professor Harold Laswell defines politics as who gets what, when, and how. Kenyans must ask themselves that in all this noise and rendezvous, innuendos and razzmatazz, what is it for you? Because as they have said, change begins and ends at the ballot. The power is in your hands. Thank you.
That has been Shadrach TJ Makakinyi, Umundi Wakili, on the discussion 2022 politics. We are still not yet there. We'll have him again and again here to break down the political arena, the happenings in the country. Now we'll be taking our break here on KUTV Primetime News. In a moment, we shall be coming back. See you on the other side.